conceptual perspective to things. People talk about it as avenues of success.
Opportunities to work with me, as well as a couple of opportunities that I'm going to talk about in the process. It's Money Monday. I've already did the Money Monday video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. 5 principles of finance that you need to know. These are principles that you can immediately start to put into place, and you can start to change and improve your financial situations. There's a lot that you need to understand. I'm real big on educating yourself when it comes to finance, because finance is misunderstood. There's so many things that people think about money. That's why you think some people you think are successful appear successful on the top, and some people that may look like they are just barely getting by may be way more successful because of them understanding how to move. You can't necessarily look at the surface. You can observe the way a person thinks and the way a person talks. Be around a person long enough and watch how they spend their money. Hello everybody, it's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody's having a great day. As you can see, the rain is back in Houston. From what I hear, the entire country's about to get a winter storm. It's going to be kind of hectic, especially for those in the more northern regions, but it's going to be a lot of risk for tornadoes in the south. But that's a little later, so I'm moving around right now. Before we get started, there are some opportunities to work with me, as well as a couple of opportunities that I'm going to talk about in the process. It's Money Monday. I've already did the Money Monday video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. 5 principles of finance that you need to know. These are principles that you can immediately start to put into place, and you can start to change and improve your financial situations. There's a lot that you need to understand. I'm real big on educating yourself when it comes to finance, because finance is misunderstood. There's so many things that people think about money. That's why you think some people you think are successful appear successful on the top, and some people that may look like they are just barely getting by may be way more successful because of them understanding how to move. You can't necessarily look at the surface. You can observe the way a person thinks and the way a person talks. Be around a person long enough and watch how they spend their money. It's going to tell you who they are. Now, if you don't understand finance, it probably won't reveal much, but it'll definitely create questions, because people who don't understand finance, people who are consumer minded by cultural influence, by nature, by inheritance of ideals, will see the buying of things as a representation of success, and on a financial level, success in business, whatever. What do I own? In the sense of what have I purchased? People who understand money are going to be saying, how have I invested my money? What have I purchased that appreciates in value, at the very minimum holds its value? That's a part of it. This consumer mindset versus the growth mindset, and it's everything else in between. But anyway, we talked about those principles. You want to get that. In the description box, there's going to be the guide that I created, the financial literacy for teens. It's the step-by-step guide to teaching teens financial literacy, to understand how things work, how to start out, how to build, how to grow. From the very basic principles. You don't need a lot of money. You need to know what to do with the money you have. That's where you begin. That's where you start, period, point blank. Also, if you don't have multiple streams of income as an employee or a small business owner, if the only stream of income you have is your primary stream of income, you're putting yourself in jeopardy. You need to hedge your primary streams of income with independent streams of income that you control, meaning that at no time will you be in a situation where you are not in a position to work hard, generate revenue. Now, all revenue streams are going to be dependent upon, well, I won't say all, but almost all revenue streams are going to be dependent upon the economic climate at any given time. Things slow down, money slows down. But what having independent streams of income does for you is it puts you in a situation where you can't be fired, you can't be laid off. No one can take it from you. Now, you're going to have to work it, you're going to have to be invested. But what I do is I show you how to create these streams of income online. Well, man, was this 2022? Right? Yeah, so 12 years ago, I made up in my mind that I was going to reinvent myself, recreate, and rebuild my business. And it was a multifaceted business then, but I was going to rebuild it online. I was going to rebuild it with a much more potent reach and potential to touch people, because the internet was unlimited. I can reach people on different continents versus just dealing with people within my own geographical location. And so I knew it was going to take some time, energy, and effort I was going to have to learn, because it wasn't an area of expertise for me. But I believe that that was going to be the most steady and consistent and long-term way to do it. I believe that in time, and this is before we are where we are right now with the internet, this was the rise of, this is, you know, what Facebook was roughly 2.5, almost 3 years old. Twitter was coming along. YouTube was getting its bearings, and Instagram was popping its head out of the water. I mean, that's where it was. So it wasn't what it was today, but I believe that it would be. I believe that this is going to be a place where people could come and literally create great lives for themselves. And it has become that, and many people are doing that. And the opportunity to do that is out there for anyone. Does it require hard work? Does it require research? Does it require consistency and the ability to adjust? One of the things that I've had to learn with doing business online is the ability, and I can't think it was Pascal Roberts. I can't believe who it was. Maybe Pascal Roberts. I can't remember. But whoever it was said that, and I'm probably saying the wrong person, but anyway, they said before 2000 came that in the new millennium, literacy and illiteracy would be judged different. Literacy would be judged on a person's, instead of being judged on whether you can read or write and do arithmetic, especially read or write and understand. Literacy would be judged on how fast you can learn something, unlearn, and relearn. And that's something that I have definitely had to adjust. Before coming on the internet, the old mold and blueprint, especially in the area of marketing. You know, if you had marketing for a TV ad budget, you definitely wanted TV was it. Then after TV was radio, after radio was print, and you created it. You created something, and then you had to have follow-up surveys and all of that stuff. You wanted to find out. You had to find ways to get the people who bought to say how they bought, to find out what commercials work, what ads were working, and it was a headache. And then you move now, and the ad spend in business has flipped. There's more money being put into social media than the other media. It's crazy how much money is put into social media. Why? Because social media creates the ability to not only put your brand in front of people, your products in front of people, but have immediate, instantaneous responses to your questions about your product, about your client. The ability to acquire and accumulate customer intel is off the chain. The ability to create customer experiences based on that intel is off the chain. So there's so much growth potential in this. The ability to literally on the fly create new markets Never in the past were you able to do that. Markets were, painstakingly developed and created, and the powerhouses normally dominated the market. Now you have powerhouses who hold certain percentages and portions of the market, but there's always a niche in the market somewhere, because you are not locked into just the people you can reach in your geographical location. Over the time I've had clients in Perth and Sydney, Australia, in Durban, South Africa, in multiple places in the UK and Ireland, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, not to mention the domestic US. And in a number of different things that I do, it wasn't all in one thing, but most of them now are coaching and therapy clients, but I also do a lot of business consulting. But it all came from me saying there's something out there. There's something beyond what the average person is seeing right now. So I started out and I created a blueprint of how I wanted to end a business. And I kept some of the old ideas, and I think that, one of the things that always has worked for me, and that is I look for opportunities to enter business markets with a low cost entry, meaning that I'm not looking for a whole lot of startup capital. I'm looking for small windows of opportunity where I can step in and then expand myself once I'm on the inside based off of the work I create. Now, what that does is that does call for a great deal of discipline, because as you're creating revenue, you're not allowed to spend, because you're using that revenue as your startup capital. You're literally doing a seed launch in time. You're creating a business on nothing, believing you're going to make something, but I mastered it. And I want to teach people how to get in. The idea is to get in the game. This may not be the thing you're going to do for the rest of your life, but it's a chance to leverage and hedge your income. And that's the thing that's most important. So if you're serious about changing your situation, if you're serious about doing something different, if you're serious about advancing yourself and improving your situation as it pertains to finance, here's an opportunity for you to get a 7-day online business launch, which is a step-by-step, self-paced course with email access to yours truly on how to set this thing up. If you're really ready to move forward and you're in a position to do so, we have a done for you. Well, my team will build everything from your website, your business plan, your marketing analysis, and everything else. And we will manage your company for you until it actually achieves profit. So until it reaches profit, we've got it, and then we'll turn it over to you, and we'll stay on as consultants for a year. Those are your options. They're in there. Only the serious need apply, because you're going to have to be serious about committing to getting something done. If you're talking about doing the 7-day online course, you're going to have to be serious about committing about doing the work. You're going to have to sit down and do it. All of the answers and the steps are there. You can literally be online, up and running, ready to take orders in 7 days or less. But you're going to have to put in the work. The done for you is going to require you to put up front investment in yourself. We're going to guarantee it. We're going to stay with you until you come to profit. We're going to run it. We're going to make sure everything's done. And we're doing it now at a very discounted price through Christmas. But I'm only going to do this discounted price for the first 10 applicants because of the cost impact that it has. But I want people to get involved and take a chance. Look, the one thing I can tell you is this. Anytime you want something in life, there's a risk involved. If you get in and you think there's no risk involved, then it's either you're fooling yourself, or if there's no risk involved, there's no chance for growth. There's always a risk involved. But here's the thing. You can choose to take the risk. And what I can tell you is, if you prepare yourself, if you study, if you do what you need to do, at some point you're going to hit on those risks, And whatever you may lose in the process, you'll gain back plus. That's how life works. Life demands you to put some skin in the game, and that means that you're putting yourself out there and you're taking a chance with something. You can take calculated risk, you can take reduced risk, but at some point you have to take a risk. Now you could choose not to take a risk, but that's a risk too. Because see, when you don't take a risk, you're risking never having the things that are possible for you. You're risking never achieving your potential. You're risking never getting out of the place and space you're in currently. And that's what's going to happen. And one risk is conditional. The risk that you take in trying to grow is you may get hit hard, you may get hit soft, but you're going to at some point achieve. The one thing that's guaranteed is if you don't take the risk, you never get the growth. You never get the expansive, intensive experience of living life at the level of your design. That's a guarantee. If you don't take the risk, you're not get there. You can sit up and you can keep procrastinating. You can keep telling yourself maybe next year. You can keep telling yourself when the kids leave the house. You can keep telling yourself when I save. You can keep doing all of that, and it'll sound good to you. And your friends hear you, but they've a long time realized that you're talking and you're not going to take action. You can keep putting it off. And you're going to look up one day and you're going to be 25 years older than you are now. And you're going to still have the same issues and you're still going to have the same desires, but you're not going to be any closer to realizing your dream. That is what I see when I visit the deathbed of a lot of people who ask to see me, is regret. What I can tell you is, despite the bumps and the bruises that I've definitely had and experienced, despite some of the difficulties and challenges of running a business and holding things up in some of the most difficult times, what I can tell you is when I leave this place, I will die on E. I will die having given this world everything I have. I will die having touched many dreams. I mean, I touch dreams. I've lived dreams because I'm willing to reach and go beyond the pain, go beyond the fear, go beyond the uncertainty, and touch things that are on the other side of the wall of that reality. That's the thing that most people aren't willing to do. Most people aren't willing to go. They want to touch the dream, but they don't want the process of ups and downs, ins and outs, forward and backwards, delay, frustration, disappointment, setbacks, failure. It's a part of the process. You're going to have to be willing to get in the game in order to make that happen. What I can tell you is one of the biggest risks you can take is not hedging your income. As the person, and from being a kid from the inner city where poverty was all around me and success wasn't a guarantee, to think that I was the person in the early 2000s who literally repatriated the Enron executives from all over the world when the company collapsed is amazing to me. That I'm that dude. Me. It's a distant memory now, 20 years ago, but one thing that I learned in that process is no matter how safe you think you are, you're not safe if you don't control the revenue. There were six-figure people easy, a couple of seven-figure people who were coming back totally bankrupt. Why? They trusted the system that they were operating in to be their sole system of support. They didn't hedge. They didn't diversify. They invested in their company stock. They literally ravaged their 401ks doing that. One lady had been with the company through all its name changes and everything else, because it was something else before it was Enron and before that. But she had been with them and she was almost ready to retire, and she was expecting to retire with 7 figures. Her 401k was ravaged. She had not developed any skill set outside of being a personal assistant, executive personal assistant to a high-level exec. And at 60, where are you going to get a job doing that? Fortunately, I worked with her, helped her develop her skill set in her area of expertise. She became a consultant. I haven't talked to her in about 5 years, but last I heard she was doing well. She should definitely be probably chilling somewhere. She's 80-something now. but back then, close to 80, if not 80. But here's the thing. I saw devastation consistently from people who were much better off when they were on their game than the average person. And they were wondering how they were going to find their balance. They were getting severance packages and they were getting all this, but when your whole plan is set up, man, I'm on this cush job, I'm riding, and now all of a sudden snatched from underneath you. Some of them landed on their feet, some of them reinvented themselves, some of them took very hard hits that took them a while to recover from. You can't stop life from happening, but what you can do is put yourself in the best position to manage the turbulence of change. So that's the thing that I want to put on you. For something as affordable as what I'm offering, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Let me walk through it with you. Let me share it with you. I mean, there's no reason not to take advantage of this. Like I said, this isn't about picking the perfect business that you're going to run the rest of your life. This is about getting a business. I have multiple things that I do online. Not everything is in a passion. It's in a legitimate pursuit, but it's not necessarily in a passion. It's just in a place where, okay, I was capable of doing it. I did it. I set it up, and now it's doing what it does. And then there's the things I'm passionate about. Helping people change their lives, helping people grow, helping people evolve and do what they do. And so that's where I put the vast majority of my energy, and it takes so much to do that, to get it to where I want to be, that we're going through growth pains right now. But the idea to say that I'm going through growth pains after where I went and then failed and then had to get back up and had to start over and not knowing anything about the internet, to being where I am now, where I'm a consultant, where people sending people to me. That it could be you. It all started with, I didn't know what I know now when I started. Nobody does. A person sets out to say, okay, this is what I want. And then in the passion of the flow determines this is what I'm going to do. And then from that point on, it's growing and becoming and deciding how you're going to move and what you're going to invest yourself in. But you have to be willing to put some skin in the game. I don't know, man, for whatever reason my voice is going. It's been one of those days, but I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get off of here. Go to the description box. 7-day business launch, legacy wealth program, which is a 6-month program. A to Z in wealth development. A to Z in wealth development. It's not doing it for you. It's not taking any of your money to invest. It's simply saying, here's what you do: a 6-month course and a lifetime membership to the Epic Realm community of high achievers. These are the people primarily who have worked with me, some of the people who have mentored me, but most of the people who have worked with me and gotten results are now hanging out in one spot. And, you know, we meet up consistently. And I want to help you meet these people, be a part of a lifetime membership where people are going to fan your flames. People are going to give you sound advice. People are going to hold you accountable. You're going to be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. What's your circle look like right now? What's the average income of your circle? What is the dreams of the people in your circle? What are the aspirations? What are the goals? How many people in your circle fan your flames, lift you up, encourage you, challenge you, say they're going with you? That's the important thing. So look, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. Thank you guys for sharing your time, and I'm out.